Welcome back to Assertiveness, the show that gives ordinary South Africans a space to talk about things that really matter. Today we're discussing male stereotypes and whether or not males are feeling oppressed and prejudiced, not because of the advancement of women. I think maybe that's where we went wrong, is that we made it sound like there's a comparison here. We're not trying to compare. What we're talking about is in general. Is society handling you as a man? Do you feel society is handling you the same way that they're handling women? Or are you feeling like, on the side, whoa, we're still busy, you know? But more than anything, Mfundo touched on a very, very important thing. He spoke about the fact that in as much as there is advancement in the workplace, advancement in terms of how society is handling women, there really hasn't been a noticeable change in how women. Yes, you find women in high positions at work, in politics, wherever, but the way women are handled hasn't really changed. And my question is, have you changed how you handle the women who are in your family? Anybody? Yeah. Even the women that are around you. And what I found with a lot of my guy friends is that they will handle you differently, but then they get a girlfriend and she's handled totally different, and not on a love thing, but in how they see her as a woman. So I just want to get understanding, yeah.
From my side, I treat my girlfriends, not lovers, but girls, as one of my boys. Yeah. So I'll treat them the same way I'll treat Ruben, the same way I'll treat Mfundo.
So you'll call them Nyaman?
Gladly.
You cannot.
Gladly. What?
You cannot.
No.
We're sensitive.
For what? Yeah, we fight for equality.
Oh, so this equality thing comes with
It comes with everything.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. I mean, there's a conversation that I had with a colleague. Yeah. I don't know what we were debating.
Wait, are you gonna fly somewhere? The way you're sitting, you look like you're ready. You're launching. Like, I'm like, why is he sitting like that? Okay, yes.
And it was one of these things where I told her that, well, you guys want equality. I can't even remember exactly what the debate was on.
I hate how you said it. Did you hear how he said it? You guys want equality. Like, it's like...
You guys want to... sorry. Women want to be compared to men. So I was like, okay, fine. If you want to be compared to men, then you can also do this.
And what was that? I
can't exactly remember what it was.
It was a specific task.
It was a specific task, yeah.
So wait, you making the advancement of women a bad thing then?
No, not at all. What I'm saying is that, as Mfundo brought it out, that we need to try and equal men and women. And if we're going to try and equal, I mean, we're saying that it's wrong for men to be soft and all those things. So why is it wrong for a woman to be strong? Why is it wrong for a woman to try to be a man?
No, we're not saying that.
Some of the things that a man can do.
But we're not saying that. What we say, what I'm hearing from what's coming from you is saying, if I'm driving my car and I get a tire burst, then you're gonna say to me, you guys want 50%, you want to be equal, must change your own tire. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Sam?
There's just certain things that women can do, which they're not willing to do because a man has to do it.
Yes, you're right.
Because society has told us.
Because society has differentiated exactly the roles.
And initially, as I said, that needs to change. Why can't you learn to change a tire?
No, it's not that I don't know how to change a tire. I can definitely change a tire. But it comes down to what Ruben had said about the example he made and how I interpreted the whole running thing. To say that, because men are built that way. In other words, also men have strength. Now, am I supposed to be there? That thing air crosses on. Now I'm pushing with my little arms.
But at the same time, if you say a man must do that, every time we say a woman must do that, what's the first reaction? With the
cooking, cooking, or because I know you're trying to run over.
Use that example, but if, for instance, Mfundo used that example, if the woman, I'd never use that because I'm a good person. If Mfundo said that women must belong in the kitchen or women must just cook, right? Then a woman will have a response to say, well, can you build a house, for instance? Right? You see? So when if you say a guy has to change a tire, and I mean, if you see a woman on the side of the road, obviously you're going to offer yourself, you're going to help. But if you're saying that a guy has to change the tire, why is it then that as soon as we say, okay, then women maybe that's an extreme example in the kitchen. Women must, for instance, do this or that. Then it's, oh no, we want equality.
No. I think it comes down to what Mfundo said about there are people the women are good at something and men are good at something. So I think maybe the word has to do it, or the phrase has to do it is the issue.
Yeah.
I think it's that thing of would see I can cook, but why must I always be the one cooking? That's where women have an issue. It's the expectation. See, and then I think also as women we are wrong in expecting that a man must come and change my tire, because why is it a male role? Why can't you change your own? You're right. Why can't I change my own tire? But my answer is I can change my own tire, but you do it better. And grease, guys. Now I've got grease on my hands. The outfit. You guys are always in pants.
What if I'm on the way to a wedding and I see you on the side of the road and I don't want to get dirty?
So then pay someone to change my tires. You're the man. I feel like I expect you to know how to.
See, that phrase, you're the man. You're the man.
You need to pay for it.
Yeah.
Why can't you pay for it?
Why can't I pay for changing my tire?
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to handle the finances.
You see, this is another issue, which is another stereotype.
I'd actually like to touch on this issue.
Yeah.
I think there's especially in Africans, right?
Yeah.
And I'll speak for myself. But at a family level, right, I think there's some sort of imbalance, right? There's a lot of shift that has happened, right? So in the past, we all know the old model of a normal African family. The man works, you know, and then the women stay at home and they cook and they do that, you know. But now you're finding that women work, you know. Now some women are earning more than men, you know what I mean? So that whole thing of the roles that were allocated in the past, you know, they're no longer there. Now there's just like a confusion because now we need to sort of reallocate roles again. You know what I mean? So I think right now we're just trying to adapt and adjust to this new modern society, you know. And that's why women are questioning things, you know. Why should I cook? I was also at work. It's not fair for me, you know.
How do you treat the women in your family?
Yeah, so
and I hope they're watching.
Honestly, it's a tough one because, like, I can't enforce that natural power that we were privileged with. You know, I can't enforce that anymore. You know, and I sort of understand, but their resistance, like, it brings discomfort to me. You know what I mean? You know, when a lady answers, right, as correct as she can be, it's a bit uncomfortable, you know, and it ties back to that balance that I told you, that imbalance that I told you about, you know. But I think in 10, 15 years' time, I think it would have stabilized a bit more. It's just
and my next question
right now.
My question is, are you guys happy that it's in the next 10, 15 years? Because then it doesn't really impact you and who you're going to end up marrying. And because I think that's very, very important, is that how you treat women right now is going to be have a big impact on what you're going to teach your son and your daughter. You know, what are you going to teach your daughter how to receive men, and what are you going to teach your son how to see, you know, women. So like what I'd like us to move to is now this modern day man. So you guys have said you're not oppressed, which is fine, except for Simo. Simo feels oppressed. Simo feels like he cannot talk about pregnancy, and that's not fair. But I understand what you're saying. It does impact your life, and I think it's such a bad thing that when people look at it and they hear a man speaking about pregnancy, it makes people uncomfortable. They think all of a sudden you're a softie, and that we need to change. But more than anything, let's talk about the modern day man. What role does the modern day man play nowadays? What is your role? Because you don't want to do provide and protect. Because provide and protect, granted, it counters what we're trying to do with women in advancing them. But where do you guys fit in now?
I think it relates a lot to, I'm speaking from a marriage perspective here. It relates a lot to who you meet and who you eventually marry. So, I mean, I'd like to think that I want to marry an independent woman. Who, you know, wants to contribute to the entire household.
Pressure. Are you afraid of the pressure?
I'm not afraid of the pressure. That's just how I've grown up. You know, equality, we're all the same. We all have brains, we all have eyes.
You propose.
Except I propose because of, society. But who knows, maybe someday someone will propose to me. Who knows?
You wouldn't mind a woman proposing to you for marriage?
Is that a topic for another show, maybe?
No. The topic for today, I'm asking you, would you mind if a woman proposed to you?
It wouldn't, if it happened, it happened. It wouldn't take away anything from me as a man, how I feel as a man. But that's me.
And her as a woman, would it take away?
But see, I can't speak for her. So, which is why.
No, but the way you perceive her, would it take away from how you would perceive her and how your friends would perceive her?
See, I can't speak for what everyone else is going to think. How I would perceive her is still as a woman, someone someone who wants to marry me. If she doesn't propose, she'll obviously hint that she wants me to propose. So it's going to happen either way. Right?
Because the reason why I'm asking you is because I always feel like men will propose marriage when they feel they are ready, not necessarily when the woman is ready. Because half of the time, women are ready like 3-4 years before you even propose. So is that also still then not you guys having the power and holding the power that, you know what, uzongimela until I'm ready to be a married man?
If you take away that power aspect, I know it does sound like we have a lot of power. Would you have one person in a marriage that was ready to be married and one other person who wasn't ready?
No, we both should be ready, but I just think is it you guys use that as a power tool. Men use it as a power thing to say, you know what, ultimately she's gonna have to. I'm not just proposing. And I've heard this that thing to say. So it's kind of always puts women on the back foot because it's like, okay, well look, my entire future. Granted, it might not be all women want to get married, but most of us want to get married, and our future is dependent. My life starts when I get married because a part of my life, being a mother, being a wife, that only starts when I get married. And that, I don't know when it is because it's dependent on you.
Yeah. Okay. No, my opinion on that, I think it's such a complex thing. And I don't think entirely it's a power thing, I know in the African tradition, right, with things like marriage, it comes, for a man, it comes with a lot of responsibility, It comes with a lot of, you have to plan a lot of things in terms of finances, It's not something that you can just get up and say, okay, I'm ready, you ready, let's get married, It's like a 5-year plan. You need to save, you need to lay things out properly, So as much as it looks like maybe it's like a power thing, he's just doing it for power. No, this guy is putting away money.
But do you tell her?
And I think that's where the problem lies.
Yes.
Yeah, we just don't communicate. Yeah.
Because even if you're not going to marry her, you should say, if you are in a relationship with that person, you should say, by the way, I want to get married. Have the conversation from the start. I want to get married at some point in my life, but I cannot get married now. If I'm going to get married, I'm going to probably get married in the next 5 years, and I'm putting in the right steps for me to be ready in 5 years' time. Yeah. Do you guys have those conversations with your partners?
I think we should. Yeah, not.
So you're not. Yeah, because I feel like then at least it's no longer a power thing. Then I know Ruben will be ready in 5 years. So if I'm ready before from the start, I'm not gonna be ready in a lesser time. I'm gonna be ready. So it's not that thing I'm now waiting for Ruben to help me start my life. Something is itching.
From my side, I've just got a problem with that statement.
Okay.
Me telling my partner that I feel like I'll be ready in 5 years, she kind of expects for me in 5 years.
No, but you must say, I'm not gonna marry you. I'll be ready for marriage. I must say I'm ready for you.
That's like asking for a one-way ticket to get dumped though.
Really, guys?
You tell someone, okay, fine, I see myself with you for the next 2 months. After that, it's over for us. That's kind of like what you're saying.
Surely it's how you phrase the conversation, because if you say to a mature girl, look, I'm not going to marry you in the next 2 years. I'm not going to, no, you didn't say marry you. You say I'm not going to be married in the next 2 years. 100%. I'm going to get married in the next, however many years. That's when I feel I'll be prepared financially, mentally. So you say it could be you, but
that to me, if someone said that to me,
yeah,
that kind of creates an expectation that, okay, fine, wait 5 years, and we'll get married.
Is it?
I think it has to be an estimation, so you can't say 5 years exactly from now.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But that obviously goes down to what you said. The person that you're speaking to has to be mature about the conversation. I'll be ready in 2 years could mean 2 years and
5 months. So after 2 years, ubegile, the 19th of January, 2 years, yeah, you know, we get married. So it comes down to who you are obviously in a relationship with. That I think is very important. But you guys have still run away from my question.
Yeah.
You've still run away from what is the role of the modern day man. Nifita will be, if as Nicolette, I can work for myself, I can pay for my own bills, I can do everything myself. I can even make a baby by myself now. So I don't really need you. So where do you fit in? How do you bring value to me as Nicolette, a working, independent young lady? And there's plenty of us. And there's probably more of us than the single girls I'm not the single girls, the girls who are willing to be sponsored. There's a whole lot of independent women that are now up on the rise. How do you fit into the life? How are you going to complement their lives? I'm going to take a quick ad break. When we come back, that's the first thing I want us to talk about. I'm not even going to do a link. We're just going to go straight into it. Guys, don't go away.